Good afternoon, today is the 15th day of the trip. Damn, it's already 2 weeks behind, and we are just getting started. Everything will be harder and cooler. Now I'm going to the farthest point of the Khabarovsk region, which is problematic to get to, although the distance is only 460 kilometers from Komsomolsk-on-Amur. It will be autonomous. I bought a lot of food. I have food in my backpack, in a bag, so it will be tough. I will try to describe everything that happens in a colorful and detailed way. I moved out of Komsomolsk-on-Amur, literally the first car stopped in the city. I didn't even have time to go out of town. People are friendly here. A big thank you to them. Now the most interesting thing, we need to get to Silikhina, another 15 kilometers to it. In the meantime, we can enjoy the views, because cars are rare guests here. There is little traffic. Well, the time is 1:30. There are 406 km left to my point. Here the paved road ends. Everything will be very bad further. The traffic here is even worse, because only fishermen go here. The movement is very weak. Sometimes food is transported in trucks, sometimes people get to the city on their own. Now the unknown Russia begins. I got ready for a long wait, but after 15 minutes a car stopped. I happily approached it, but the driver stopped to ask for forgiveness that he could not take me, because the car was full of various things. About 13 minutes later, another car drove by, filled with people, and left only a dusty trail on the road. An hour later, to my happiness, Losha stopped and took me. During the trip, he told me a lot about the life of the locals. I look where jumps out from behind a spruce tree and looks at me. And I aunt and he ran straight to the peasants, and there is a bulldozer, can you imagine? It was necessary to go around in a circle, but he jumped out directly and they were like, oh my! He jumped over the road and didn't even leave a trace. Big bear, I told them, but they didn't believe me. Asphalt was laid this year, it's fresh. It's strange, there is no road to here, but there is one in the village. Yes. There is even a hotel, wow, really? There is even a store. We are going in such a fun company, me, Yashka and Losha. Thank you very much for picking me up. We are going through the forest, through the taiga. There is no civilization, there is no cellular communication. However, we passed the village of Piazzani, in which the asphalt lays. This is very interesting. There is no asphalt to the village, but there is one in the village. And the asphalt is fresh. They laid it this year. They are still laying it down. Asphalt shines. We drove like clockwork. I'm going to work fly in, fly out. As I understand it, the men here mainly work fly in, fly out in the forest. Yes, I'm going to Nikolaevsk-on-Amur. I thought a young man is standing in Silikhina. We got to know each other and we've been talking for a couple of hours. We drove about 120 kilometers and going together for another 180 kilometers. Then our paths will diverge. Fun! We are sitting, we are communicating, and it's the most important thing. Doggy is bringing pleasure, right? Yes, it's nice when a four-legged friend lies. So come, hello everyone, come to the Far East, raise it. There is really a lot of space here, everything needs to be ennobled. Hectares are distributed here. Hectares are given for free, but out of condition supply. Yes, and somehow you will have to go here for your hectare. And somewhere you won't even go. Most likely you will not pass to your hectare. And then you will share this hectare with the bear. Yeah. They will lay asphalt too. Driving in the late evening through the forest is a separate conversation. I want to be among the people Good morning. Today is the 16th day of the trip. I am in Dikastri. This is a village that is located right next to the sea. I spent the night here in a dorm. I asked to sleep here for free. So, the story is, I arrived here at 9:30. That is, I left at 11:30 in the morning and arrived here at 11:30 at night and drove only 360 km on the dead roads. We moved at an average speed of 40 km per hour, sometimes stopping. These are the conditions in the room here. It's very cold and I slept with my clothes on. There is a toilet, shower, hot water in the boiler. I am continuing on my way. Do you know what's funny? The funny thing is that exactly a day ago, before my arrival here, a boy who followed my route also spent the night here. You know what? Most likely we will catch up with him and talk. I am standing on the road waiting for my happiness, my car, tractor, I don't know what will come first. Remains of asphalt, a small civilization ends here, 114 kilometers left to go on even more killer roads than yesterday. I hope everything works out. And I am moving, you know where and why? I am moving to Lazarev in order to live from there, or rather to sail away or go to Sakhalin. Are you excited? Keep watching and everything will be okay, everything will be cool. I do not know myself how it will turn out, but I'm sure that it will be cool. I waited about an hour and a half and caught a truck. Quite suddenly asphalt appeared out of nowhere. Where is the logic? Why was there no asphalt, for example, at the beginning of the journey? Somewhere, of course, there were holes, but it's better than nothing. I hope one day the road will be completely paved. The weather turned bad again, and it began to rain, but sitting inside the car is not a problem. By the way, I have already noticed that most of the people I met listen to chanson. It's kind of feature of the Far East. Look, what a cool sign I'm standing against. What a contrast, look, because now I was driving on a completely paved road. We can drive 120 km per hour, it's like a German autobahn. Of course, there are restrictions, but we can drive. The road is smooth. They can, when they won't build a road in Taiga. They can, but not everywhere it's built. Probably this is the theft of the budget. The road, there are no people, the wilderness, there is no mobile network, there is some kind of quarry, stone has been mined, in my opinion. From here it's even more difficult to go to my destination because I purposefully need traffic in this direction. And here, guys, is the road to the village where only 900 people live. Crap, it's okay, we'll get there. I was waiting for the car I needed for an hour and a half. Nikolai stopped and happily picked me up. You need to go on such trips with a camera. Well, I'm filming on the phone. Nikolai with great pleasure tells about the life of the locals. Products are brought here twice a week. Due to bad roads, the cost of transportation is very high, so the prices for everything here are much higher. The people here are very friendly, and if someone goes to civilization, they will definitely fulfill the request to bring something. He also said that in these places almost everything can be exchanged for vodka, for example your work. It's already late evening. I got to the village of Nigir, and this is a perfect evening because I ate caviar and now I'm in the bathhouse and taking a steam bath, warming up after a hot day. The temperature was +9. Russian bath. Now I'm sweating from the heart. Nikolai sheltered me at his home and also fed me, for which many thanks to him. At 8 AM we moved on. I started my 18th morning in the village of Nigir, where I spent the night yesterday, and now I am in Lazarev, the village of Lazarev. You know, this is the edge of the Khabarovsk region and the mainland of Eurasia. Then it's only Sakhalin, now I see it. Why did I get here? Because the distance to Sakhalin here is only 7,800 meters. It's very cool. And of course from here we can cross there. We need to agree with local fishermen. I have already spotted a boat there. By the way, the village itself is small. The population, according to the local library, is 700 people. Although Wikipedia says that more than 900 live here. Here is a pier and a booth, we can spend the night in it. To Lazarev from Slums of Khabarovsk we can reach in the daylight hours with a lot of luck. I got there in 2 days, or rather in 2 nights. We will cross this strait today. Again, I have the feeling that I'm at the end of the world, and you know, the fact that everything here is abandoned, old, rotten, adds atmosphere. Imagine that it used to be normal, it flourished, but now it's in decline. Everything is semi-abandoned and somehow it's great. We can feel its own atmosphere. Do you know what is remarkable about this village? The fact that in Soviet times Stalin began to build a tunnel here in order to connect the mainland and Sakhalin. Unfortunately, the construction was not completed and the tunnel was flooded as a result. There are different versions. Someone says that only political prisoners, ordinary prisoners worked there, and someone says that there were volunteers. You know, given Stalin's policies, I think that most likely they were prisoners, because all Stalin's projects, Troika, 501 for example, they were just prisoners. I think it was hardly an exception here that people voluntarily came here. All this was built on bones, and now unfortunately the tunnel is flooded and its remains can be found in the vicinity of the village. Abandoned lovers, now turn your attention to screens, monitors and everything you are watching this video from. I found especially for you and for myself as well, a mine, the very one that was built during Stalin's time in the middle of the last century. Of course it's flooded, but with due desire you can go down, I think. Reinforcement, I think we can go down. Who is brave? Get down, check in. I think the guys are climbing here, so you get off. I won't. I'm not a fan of these cases. Today we have some evening of visiting abandoned places, Seabourn Cave, and now we will dive into it. I don't really know what it is. Obviously this was used by the same prisoners, workers, who were building an underground tunnel to Sakhalin. The locals are engaged in fishing and hunting. Almost the entire male population works on the oil pipeline that comes from Sakhalin. Despite the fact that many people move from the village, many come here, mostly fishermen, who take out the main wealth of the village in whole trucks. Good morning, today is the 18th day of the trip. Yesterday I couldn't get out. All the boats were going not to Sakhalin, but in the other direction. And for the crossing the locals ask 5,000 rubles, about $70, one way per person. I understand that it's 16K round trip, but it's more expensive than any taxi. They said this: we don't need someone to ride, we have enough things to do, so if you give 5,000, we swim across. This price is not just for me, but for everyone. The day before, my guys were there and they probed the situation. They said yes, 5,000 for the crossing. But you can, on average, wait a day or two and eventually come to an agreement with the fishermen, the locals who are sailing in that direction, and join them for free. Let's hope that this happens. In the meantime, I'm sitting in the booth and I spend the night in it too. Now I can make my own plans. And here is my booth in which I settle down. Table, chair, couch. Cool. It seems to have a grid and they will take me from here to the island in an hour. Guys, I'm happy. I hope everything works out. While I'm on the mainland, I decided to sum up my trips in the Far East. Having visited Primorye and the Khabarovsk region, I came to the conclusion: it's very popular to give people nicknames. That's horrible. They like to call their friends luminaries. In Cuban, this is not very developed, and indeed in the central part of Russia. Next, nothing works without swear words. Girls swear probably 10 times more than again in the central part of Russia. It seems to me that this is not good. In terms of music, chanson prevails here as well as prison songs. I understand that there used to be many prisons here, but the general population listens to music as if they were prisoners for 15 years, songs about freedom, blah blah blah. These are the specific features of the region. It's interesting to observe what is happening with us, in the places where we live. This is the Far East. On this probably the mainland part of the video ends, sunny Sakhalin, the Nevelskoye Strait can be seen ahead. I hope this boat will take me there in... We should be leaving by now, as the captain told me. Goodbye, land! We sailed away from the mainland. There is no turning back. Now only Sakhalin is ahead, and even cooler adventures. It's windy and even a little scary because the boat is rocking. Although I rode the sea on such things a long time ago. Onward to the unknown. Unloading. First steps on Sakhalin land, on Sakhalin sand. That's it, I'm officially on the island. Thank you very much, Dmitry, for helping with the crossing. Well, now let's explore Sakhalin. So I got to Pogibie by hydro-hiking for the first time in my travel career. An unusual feeling. It's fun to do something for the first time. For the first time I traveled by water transport completely for free. Great. What is Pogibie? There are literally 5 houses, 5 wagons. That's all. The most interesting thing is that it's 120 kilometers from here to civilization, to the federal highway. Today is Saturday and the car will be on Tuesdays, so you can understand. It's on Tuesday anyway, but maybe earlier. Time here will drag on forever. Okay, the main thing is that there is electricity, and I have a guitar.